Hey guys, welcome back to my part two of my kind of lunch and dinner kind of ideas for keto. We'll get right into it, and I'm kind of not one of those guys that's gonna, try to talk you into watching a longer video. I try to make them as short as I can. I know that it's a little more helpful to most of everybody out there. We only have a limited amount of time, and I try to get as much info as I can to you. Okay, as far as lunch or dinner, and that's why I kind of bunch these together, because you could use lunch or dinner, these ideas for either meal. Now, the first one is kind of like your mainstay. It's a salad. And be creative, okay? Add whatever greens you like. You can add, minty greens. You could add spinach. You could add kale. You can add romaine. You could add iceberg if you want. I'm not a big fan of iceberg though. I don't really like it. It's kind of bland. It's nasty. I've done a part on iceberg. There's just not enough vitamins in there for me to add it to my salad. And if I ever go to a restaurant and they serve me a salad with iceberg, no, I'm never either gonna buy that salad, or I'm never gonna go to that place again. I think iceberg is cheap. I think it's disgusting. Anyway, that's my rant. But be creative. Try not to put as much protein on your salads as, say, what you might have done prior to this. A lot of people will think that they could put eggs on there and chicken and maybe something else, maybe bacon and da-da-da-da. And you can if you put them in moderation. But like me, I'm going by me, I kind of went a little overboard. I'll put a couple eggs on there, either scrambled or hard boiled. I'll slice them all up. I'll put a whole bunch of chicken on there. And I'll either put real bacon on there, which is more protein. And I just screwed up a lot with my salads, so I overdid them. But if you want a big salad, get a big salad. It's gonna really give you more of those vitamins and stuff through those leafy vegetables, those crunchy greens. It's gonna give you the fiber that you're looking for. It's gonna really be beneficial. It's gonna make you feel better all day. And a lot of times people end that with their day. A lot of times there are those people that are fat adapted, which eat that breakfast meal, and then by the time they eat their lunch, that's it. And then they'll fast for the rest of the day. And it's not because they intentionally fast. It's because they're actually full. They're satisfied, and they don't need any more substance. And if they do, their body's going to go ahead and take it off of their body, take it in fat storage, and it's really they're not going to feel the need for an energy kind of, fix, because it's just going to happen so naturally. You're just not going to feel hungry, and you're just going to, just go on. Now, another kind of lunch that I would recommend, you want to stay away from your leaner meats. All right, your leaner cuts of beef, your leaner chicken, like your chicken breast, your boneless, skinless chicken breast. You want to stay away from them as much. Now, there's going to be times when I'm going to talk about them and recommend them, but we're always going to try to add more fat back into that to bring it up to a little higher fat. That's not the best way to do it. The best way is to get the more natural animal fats. Like the first thing I would usually recommend is probably a red meat kind of meal, and that red meat is going to be your fat percentage on that should be about an 80 or 85%, right in there. Try not to get something that's up in the 90s where they trim a lot of that fat off. You want the more fat on there, because when you're done cooking this, and this is key, a lot of people don't do this. They'll cook that meat up, whether it's in a burger form, whether it's in a steak form, and you kind of take that pot and you got to pour the whole thing onto your plate, including the animal fat that dripped off of it and added to the flavor of that meat. You want to pour that right back onto your meat, or even onto whatever else you're eating, to add a little bit of flavor. Now, I have a picture of something I've made, and this is probably why I don't do too many videos. That's this thing right here. It looks really disgusting, but my wife was just like grossed out. But believe it or not, the taste of this thing was pretty amazing. I would actually do it again. And I know we eat with our eyes first, and things have to look pretty. That's why they put garnish on things, and restaurants go all out. But this was pretty good, and I didn't have to. I guess I try not to look at it as myself because I knew it looked ugly. I knew that it was looking kind of weird, but I'm okay with it. I'm all right because it's all about getting the fats in, the healthier fats, the lower proteins, and almost no existent carbs. That's my goal. All right. Another thing that I did was I made up a meatloaf, and I was just kind of creative. You can make up your own meatloaf, and you can put like crushed up pork rinds in it instead of breadcrumbs. That's an idea that I've done, and you can mix that into your meatloaf to give it a little bit more of a meatloaf kind of taste. You could put in those McCormick seasoning packets. You got to watch them though, because some of them have some hidden sugars and some hidden carbs in them. Okay. What I do is I try to go still more natural with it. I patted it all out. I even put some peppers and onions. Now I know they're a little sugary, but I put them in raw, and I don't let them caramelize, or I don't let them get brown so much. And then I'll put in like some pre-cooked bacon right in there, and I'll put a little bit of cheese in there, and then I will close that whole thing up. And then I put some bacon in it, and then I put some sugar-free barbecue sauce. And I bake that thing, and then over time, this is one of those things you can put in your refrigerator. You slice it up into probably, again, 4-ounce kind of sections, and you'll get an idea what an ounce is. And for me, to teach somebody, it's your hand. It's basically the size of your hand and the thickness of your hand. Okay, so if you want to know how much protein you should have, this is it right here. Minus your fingers, minus your thumb, and there it is. Okay, that's it. Oh, and so like in that meatloaf, you could be so really creative. You can put maybe cilantro in there. You can put some spinach in there. You can put whatever you want in it, and just close it all up. And you're gonna bake it, and I'm gonna, most people know how to make a meatloaf, I think, and that's it. I have all the pictures here, and it's just a matter of how creative you are. I just talked with another person on Facebook on one of those keto sites, and she made one that looked so much better than mine. But like, she took the time to wrap all this bacon all the way around it, and what an amazing job. Like, she put a little extra cheese in there, more than probably I would have done. But wow, the thing looked pretty nice compared to what I can make. Hers looked really eye appealing. And I guess she said her husband didn't even like it. That's sad. That sucks. My wife, for the most part, she kind of likes the things that I make. If she doesn't, she's pretty honest. She just won't. She'll just like, no, not gonna eat that. No, you can have that as much as you want, So, with that meatloaf or with that steak, you can add stuff to it. Okay, you can add your greens. You could also add cauliflower, like the father knows best, leave it to beaver kind of meals that you would see on a person's plate, where they have that meat, starch, and vegetable. Well, you could actually still do that, but that starch can be changed to mashed cauliflower rice. And if you haven't tried these things, try them. I hate cauliflower cooked in the little florets that you normally get it in. I just don't like it. I haven't liked it since I was a kid. I don't like most cooked vegetables. I like to eat them raw, which is actually probably more beneficial than it is not. But when you grate them up, or if you mash them up, the cauliflower, somehow it loses the entire cauliflower taste. I guess there's a hint of cauliflower, but not enough for me to say, I don't like this. But it scared me in the beginning, but when I went to it and finally did try it, I was like, that's pretty good. So I don't try to overdo it. I don't try to overeat that stuff. I keep it to a serving or a serving and a half of what it says on the package. But it's pretty good. And I put a lot of butter in it. I put a lot of salt in it, or even some garlic in it. I got that new Kerrygold garlic and herb butter. If you haven't seen that, this is a picture of it right here. And it's amazing. It's comes in little sticks, so it's a little more expensive, I think, than regular butter. And you could probably just add your own herbs and spices, but it's just an easy way to slice off a bunch of cubes of butter, put it in your food. You already got it flavored. And when I would say cook chicken, okay, with my meal like this, it's gonna look, of course, the chicken or the turkey or that white meat, or even if you get a little dark meat with it, it's still gonna have too much protein as opposed to not enough fats. So you're gonna have to fatten that up by putting that butter in there. You're gonna have to increase the fat content of that meal by using the butter. So, and it's so important to use grass-fed butter as opposed to margarine. Ugh. Oh, don't get us started on margarine. Or even just regular butter. Now, a lot of farms will have regular butter. That's probably fine, but try to find Kerrygold Irish butter. There's also this other one. I'm gonna put the picture up right here. It's a butter that I found at some of the grocery stores, and I looked it up, and it's also grass-fed butter. It's a European brand too, and it's probably around the same price, but some stores had this first before they had the Kerrygold, but I just went from store to store, and I was just like, you need to carry this stuff right here. This is Kerrygold. This is like the #1 selling butter in the world. It's very healthy butter. Healthy. Butter is not evil. Butter is great. I watched that Stephanie Person, the business girl, and she's literally slices up probably like almost 3 tablespoons or maybe even a little bit more of butter. She slices it up and kind of eats it like cheese. Just eats them. I've been doing that just to get in more fats. I've been trying to get my fat intake higher and higher and higher. And I've been watching cholesterol videos, trying to learn more about cholesterol. I watched 80 Keto. Aaron is really into this now, and he recommended this guy that did a keto or did a cholesterol blood work experiment on himself, and he kept going and going and going, and he really is breaking ground with this whole cholesterol thing and trying to help people understand it more and more, because like me, I have that higher cholesterol of the LDL, but all my other numbers are really good. And the fact that my triglycerides are really good and my HDL is actually improving, but my LDLs are going up, I'm not worried about it because I know that there's 2 different types of cholesterol in there. I'm not going to get all into that, but the puffier ones are type A. They're not bad. The type B, the small dense ones, they're the ones you have to be avoiding. And to know if those LDLs that you have on your blood work, if those LDLs are so high and they're bad, is by looking at the triglycerides. If your triglycerides are over 100, then there's a chance that those cholesterols in your LDL are bad. But as you get better and better with the keto diet, those LDLs are still going to go up. So don't be afraid of that. And your triglycerides are going to go down. Okay? And your HDLs are going to go up. And he's really worth watching. I'm going to, I'll link it actually below. And his information. So the one video that I watched, I'll link that in there. And it's probably a little over an hour. It's an interview with a gentleman from over in Europe. And it's pretty interesting if you like the cholesterol thing. All right. Another meal that I would recommend is actually the cauliflower pizza. All right. Now the cauliflower pizza, because of what you can do with it. All right. You can make it into anything you want. It's literally a cauliflower um, pizza crust. You have to bake it, get it crispier and hard initially, and then you could put whatever you want on it. Now, you could either put Rayo's spaghetti sauce, which is what I have listed right here. Now, you could also, instead of doing that, you could put pesto in place of that. You can put, I think it's the Stubbs guy, this right here. I don't remember the name right now offhand. I think it's like Mr. Stubbs barbecue sauce. It's sugar-free, and it literally is sugar-free, which is awesome. It's a barbecue sauce. You can make a barbecue sauce pizza. Or you can put like a white sauce, like an Alfredo sauce. And you could make your own Alfredo sauce, and it doesn't take much because you just take some butter, some garlic, some fresh garlic, some heavy whipping cream, some Parmesan cheese. There's your heavy whipping. There's your white Alfredo. And you could put that on your pizza along with some chicken, along with some spices, you know, like oregano, basil, some parsley, whatever you want to put on there. But you're going to make your pizza into whatever you want. Now, Thomas Delauer, he's another guy that I follow on YouTube. He's kind of a keto guru. He knows his stuff pretty well, too. He probably knows it a lot better than I do. Probably nothing. He definitely does. And he gets really scientific, though. He loses some people sometimes because of how scientific he is. But I'm kind of a scientific nerdy guy with the keto, and I really get into him knowing more about this and explaining why. So he does this cauliflower pizza where he puts the pesto on it, then he puts a little bit of almond cheese because he doesn't like to go dairy, and then he'll put goat cheese. Even though he was talking about the dairy, I guess the goat cheese has some other different benefits, and it won't affect you the same way that cow milk and cheese will actually affect you now. He explains all that in the video. But then he adds all that in, and then he adds macadamia nuts. I know. He says it changes them. I'm going to have to try it. He changes them when they kind of change a little bit. When they get in that oven and they roast a little bit more and they get heated up, he says it really takes on a whole different kind of texture and stuff like that. But it's worth a try because the keto pizza is all keto. It's all keto friendly. You're not risking anything by trying to recreate something. This is actually just ingredients that are keto friendly that you're putting together and that you know can actually make different meals, say for you and your family. Now, if it's just for you, you just make whatever you want. You know, like for me, I don't mind having eggs and bacon again at night. Because for me, breakfast I could have any time of the day. Lunch I could have any time of the day. Dinner I don't care, any time of the day. If I am not hungry, I'm not going to eat. If I am hungry, I'll figure something out. And I used to have everything all planned out, and that's a good thing. I'm telling you right now, it's a good idea when you're in the beginning to do that. But now I kind of go by feeling because some days I might be hungrier than others. And if I already made the meals, then I don't want them to go to waste. You know, keto gets a little expensive anyway. Even though you're not buying as much food as you were, the food that you do buy is kind of expensive. But like I said, it counterweights itself with you know, the cost that everything else used to cost. Now you don't have that stuff anymore. What else? That's it, I think. Oh, soup. Yeah, the soup. This soup here. And the soup that I recommend is made from, you take bone broth, all right? And you could add your vegetables. You could even add some of your cauliflower rice in there. You could add some greens in there, some spinach, some parsley, some cilantro if you want, I guess. My wife's big into cilantro. It has a very unique flavor. And if you haven't ever had it, try it, but try it in a small amount. But she makes some pretty good food with cilantro. Anyway, you make that soup, and it's good for, say, not a real heavy meal, but and you could put a little bit of, say, real bacon, chop it up, put it in that soup, and maybe put a couple cubes of, I don't know, pork belly, or even some chicken. As a last resort, you want to dice up some chicken and throw it in there. You can actually put in some dark meat chicken if you want, and put that in there. Also, don't forget, add fat, like the picture shows. The fat is always going to be added to almost everything I make, so that I know not only is the food that I'm eating a little higher in fat, but I'm adding more fat to it, and then I don't let that fat go to waste. I will continue to use that fat. I will either put it away and use it on another meal if there's really more fat. If I've already consumed quite a bit of fat, I'm not as hungry, but I still will try to put some of that back. Just tilt that pan and put some more of that on my plate. As far as going out, that's the last thing I want to talk about. People always wonder, well, what can I eat if I go out? Well, there's different places. Chipotle. Now, Chipotle, their lettuce is romaine. They use grass-fed cow steak. They use organic chickens. They have guacamole. They have vegetables. They have different things that you could put into your salad. And I love it. It's great, okay? Chipotles are everywhere. Don't get the burrito. Don't get the beans. Don't go overboard on the chicken. I do like half a chicken scoop and a half a steak, and that's what I put in mine now. And it's a little extra for the guacamole. And they'll say it every time. No matter how many times you're there, they'll say, you know, it's extra for the guacamole. Yeah, okay, yeah, but I still gotta have it. I gotta have it. Now, but they make a pretty good salad. It's not very big, but it's filling, and it's a good choice. It's a very, very good choice. Now, I've seen people that are making choices with McDonald's and Burger King, and if that is your only choice, and you just say, I'm going to have it, or Wendy's, I'm going to have it without the bun and everything else, then that's what you're going to do. Then it's borderline keto, because of the quality of the meat. You're not going to like that meat, because once you get used to a very higher quality meat, you're gonna just get more hooked on higher quality meats. But the meat that they tend to use doesn't really taste as good. And I guess as far as they go, those stores, those businesses, Wendy's, as far as the bigger one, is probably one of the better qualities of meat, because they never freeze it. The other one I would recommend is Five Guys, and they have a kind of this keto way of making their food, and they don't do it with a bun at all. So you're not going to even get an accidental bun with it. You can get the bacon and the cheese, and that's what I got here. That's in this picture. And, you know, it's an alternative. It's a lot of extra meat, okay? I wouldn't have got the double again like I did here, but it's an option. All right, it's an option for you when you go out. If everybody wants to go to, say, In-N-Out Burger or Five Guys or Wendy's or something, you're going to have a way to keep on staying keto. Okay. As far as going out to a restaurant, like I put here. Now, my wife and I go out to a restaurant. We try to go at least once a week. I don't know that we've been doing that enough. The weather sucks here right now. It's like 5 degrees and below zero, and it's terrible. But going out to eat isn't as hard as people think. There's always salads. Now, salads sound boring, but if you see a salad that you would like, okay, tell them to remove certain things. Tell them to add certain things. You can ask them to do whatever you want. A lot of times they're pretty accommodating. So you can make your own keto salad, even if a store does, or a business doesn't really have a lot of the keto things that you're looking at in one salad. Just kind of ask them, can you do this? Can you add that? Can you put guacamole in it? Oh yeah, sure, yeah. Okay. They may charge you, they may not. But it's an option. And it's choices. You have to make those smart choices, whether you're eating at home and eating salads like this. This one, the one here is mine. The other one is my wife's. Or salads when you go out, or salads, you know, whenever you want one. So I hope, again, that this video has helped some of you guys understand what you could eat for lunch, what you could eat for dinner. Make your own meal plans if you want. You don't need to go out and buy somebody else's meal plan who's going to teach you this is what you should do. This is it. Now, because the way that I figure for people to do it is to have an idea of what is keto food. Make your own. You know what you like. You know what you don't like. You know it's going to affect you differently. You know it's going to give you an allergic reaction or something like that. Because if I gave you something with, say, I don't know, some other thing you're allergic to, then you might be mad at me. Anyway, again, I hope this helps. I hope you get a better grasp of how to stay keto no matter where you go, no matter what meal it is. I hope the last video helps you as well. For those of you that haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. I hope you've already subscribed while you were watching this video. It's that little red subscribe option. Also, there's a thumb or a bell right next to it. If you click on that bell, that just allows notifications from YouTube to come to you about my videos and let you know when I put out another video so that you can actually watch it and give me that thumbs up, that little thumbs up figure. Maybe even comment. If you like the video, please share them. Share them on your multimedia sites. Share them on with friends. Email them to people. I love getting people that say, hey, my friend emailed me your videos. I love the videos. They're actually very helpful. They're right to the point. There's kind of no fluff, no cutesiness about my videos. I'm pretty strict when it comes to keto, and I've been doing it for years and years and years, and I've had pretty good success. So I'm always available for questions. I try to answer every comment. I definitely give it a thumbs up every time I see one because I'm so happy. Whether you even call me a moron or what, I'm still going to give you a thumbs up because you had the you know, the decency to comment and say why you don't like my videos or why you don't like me or why you think I'm wrong. But I will kind of stand up for myself and explain why I don't think I'm wrong, and I'll explain it, and I'll explain it, and I will explain it. Maybe that's a downfall to me. Anyway, I over-explain things like I'm doing right now. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope it helps. See you guys in the next video.